Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Starting with the name of Allah, the Merciful, the Beneficent. I hope you are all fine and must be in good touch of health. First, I congratulate you the Independence Day, and I believe you all must be happy as the pandemic of COVID-19 is going back. Now we look into the subject of management, and we have seen that the different aspects of the techniques and the methods of management, and we saw that the good management needs the best health management information system, and HMIS, good health management information system. Good information system or good data collection and processing and submission will be the key tool to the health managers or the decision makers or the health advisors to make decisions. We have seen that the health data needs health data actually is collection, processing, reporting and use of information necessary for improving health services effectiveness, efficiency through better management at all levels. So if we have comprehensive data, then good management can make health system very, very much efficient. Then is obviously the processing of health data. Obviously it has three elements. First is the input, then processing, then output. Input should be recorded finely, then processing should be done adequately, completely, comprehensively, and output should be collected honestly, because sometimes the output does not match with the input, or sometimes the output does not indicate clearly that what was the outcome of the health process or of the health program. Prime function of the information system is monitoring and evaluation of the healthcare facilities, and last time we discussed that the health information system is used to determine the nature and extent of the disease burden in the community for allocation of the funds, proper planning, implementation of the preventive and curative programs, and of course it's designed to provide information on service related indicators such as facility utilization rate, referrals, immunization, maternal care, maternal care and family planning. In addition, it also provides information by age on 18 priority diseases. In latest WHO charter, they have identified 18 priority diseases which actually put all the burden on health system, and if information system or HMIS provides definitive knowledge about those priority diseases, then obviously the policy makers or the health planners or the health managers are in a position to go for the implementation, the extension or the reversal of the health programs. Now, the National HMIS Cell has produced several feedback reports derived from the National HMIS data. The HMIS provides the necessary tools for making primary healthcare programs and other health related objectives a success. We have seen last time that the mainly so far in the province of Punjab and maybe in the whole of the country, the HMIS works only for the first level care facilities or the for primary health care, and it does not cover the secondary and tertiary level care facilities, because obviously once we are in a definitive position of having a definite knowledge of HMIS knowledge for the first level care facilities, then we can extend this type of data collection or this type of knowledge, acknowledgement of the knowledge from the secondary and tertiary care level facilities. So far, we have not been able to cover 100% of the institutions decided for or asked for the HMIS information, but we believe that when the primary healthcare level primary healthcare information through HMIS reaches the 80%, we will be able to involve or to include secondary healthcare and tertiary healthcare level facilities in HMIS of the institutions of the district, of the province, and finally of the country. So we were discussing for the health management information system (HMIS) in this country, and we have seen that it has not covered 100%. In 100%, it is only so far it has been only put on the first level care facilities. Now the objectives of HMIS. Now we want to see that what targets we have had in our mind when we started this HMIS. By definition, objectives is the definition. Objective is the answer of the question, is the question which we are in a position to answer at the end of the year. So by saying this, I mean that the objectives, whether the targets are achieved or not, whether the ideas, the programs have been completed, the information has been collected nicely or not, the information has been tabulated, has been processed, or has been just vague in terms. So first of all, obviously the HMIS backbone, the information, and this information should provide, the provided information should support to the health managers at various levels of health system. I mean to say that the HMIS reports or data or the information should guide managers at various levels of healthcare system to take their decisions. I repeat, to extend for the extension of the programs, for the cessation of the programs, for the modification of the programs, or straight away for the establishment of the new programs. To compare the performance over time with the other provinces, districts and facilities. Again, HMIS is very much helpful to compare two facilities of the same nature, of the same strength, then the district level healthcare facilities, then the provincial, and finally at the country level among the countries. So if we have a strong data collected strong data from HMIS, we are in a position to see that in which district it was a success and in which district it was a failure, and why the program was failure in this district, why the priority diseases exploded or spread or increased, the level of the priority diseases increased in those districts, and why not in others. So we are in a very much clear position in comparison as well, and the knowledge as well, the data as well, for the further implementation of the programs. Then is to identify the facilities and districts and provinces in need of support. We have got through data, through this HMIS program, through this HMIS data, we have clear program, we have clear knowledge about how many basic health centers, how many dispensaries, how many maternal child health care centers, how many mother care centers, how many day care centers, how many basic health centers, how many rural health centers, tehsil headquarters, how many district headquarter hospitals in the province. So we are very much clear that if we have to start some new vertical program, we have to go for the improvement in the horizontal program, what help we can get from those centers, and this is only and only possible if we have a strong HMIS report with us. Then HMIS helps to monitor trend, diseases, pattern, coverage, quality of services, healthcare facilities, quality of healthcare services, population at risk, and the record information on health events. So by doing so, we have again we can have a knowledge with us of the health information systems and healthcare facilities, knowledge about the healthcare facilities, knowledge about the disease pattern, how much people could be covered, how much people could not be covered through this program or through other Prime Minister program for family planning and primary health care, how many population is at risk, how many population is at risk in the districts, how many population is at risk in the province. And this is only possible if we have strong information recording system with us, and that is HMIS. To monitor the drug consumption, the contraceptives, the functionality of equipments, the repair, the maintenance of the facilities, the utilities. Until unless we know through HMIS that the utilities provided could be helpful and were of the best use of the community, or the utilities provided were of no use, just a wastage of money, or the utility provided could not be successful because of this reason, and utilities provided the input, the financial load was this much for such a utility and so many people had the benefit, or the utility, the machine, the equipment repair was required and repair could not be made in time, or there is just out of order, until unless we have a strong HMIS report with us, strong HMIS system working in that area, we are not in a position to go further installation of the machinery, further extension of the health programs, further launching of the vertical programs, or the cessation of the health policies and health programs. Then is the objectives of the obviously among the objectives of the HMIS is to provide information on monthly, quarterly, annual basis on the above mentioned items. Then obviously it is the decision of the health department that whether they need information monthly, quarterly, or annually, but the current scenario is that at least monthly all the information, particularly for the 18 priority diseases, should reach the district office every month, and then it is a compilation. Then quarterly report is being prepared in the district level, and then annual report is being prepared at the in the district level, or maybe at the director level, and sent to the Department of Health, which along with the help of the Planning Commission decides further goals. Now next topic is HMIS in Pakistan. Obviously we have to see the health management information system, how it has been helpful in Pakistan. I told you, I have just described that it is working at the primary healthcare level in Pakistan, and it was implemented somewhere in early 90s, and obviously so far it is only at the primary level, first level care facilities level, or the primary healthcare facility level, or the first level care facilities, and it is could not be extended to the secondary and tertiary level. A country-wide facility-based HMIS was developed in Pakistan in 1991, and HMIS data flows directly from the peripheral health facilities to the district, then to the province, and ultimately the information reaches for analysis at the National HMIS Cell. National HMIS Cell obviously plans for the communicable and non-communicable diseases, and out of those communicable, most important are the 18 priority diseases, where we have to be very much careful for the management of those diseases. And if preventive programs could not be installed, the remedial cares were not taken, the HMIS will just be a flop. And if the HMIS program data collected and analyzed, and the reversal or the improvement or the extension of the programs is there, then that is definitely HMIS, the best use of HMIS program, and that is done at the national level. A parallel community-based information system was started. Actually, the parallel program started with the Prime Minister, or the Benazir, what I can say, Benazir program for family planning and primary health care. Later on, its name was converted to the Prime Minister program, and now it's called National Program for the Primary Health Care and Family Planning. So a parallel community-based information, and that information from that system has also been incorporated into HMIS, and that has been very much useful as far as the improvement of health, or the performance of the healthcare managers has been considered. A parallel community-based information system has also been developed in 1994, which is functioning under the National Program for Family Planning and Primary Health Care. In addition, there are several other information systems specifically designed to the needs of vertical programs such as EPI, TB, AIDS, malaria, which are not fully integrated into HMIS, but still parallel information is there. The program can be had, vertical program information can be had. HMIS also helps provide information regarding EPI, TB dots has been included, of course, in HMIS, and has also been included in Prime Minister program, National program, AIDS information, malaria program. All those informations can be gathered, because if just consider TB, AIDS and malaria have also been included in priority illnesses of the society. Then is the weakness of HMIS in Pakistan. Obviously, first weakness is that at the information collection level, somebody, because this information is obviously regarding the people working there as well, of the manpower as well, of the labor as well. So sometimes it is very difficult to write against one's own self. So sometimes the information is tempered, collected maybe because of someone's lethargic approach. The information, the program could not be launched, program could not be followed properly, and the information collected are tempered information or fabricated information or designed information or engineered information is provided in place of the correct information. So lack of information on management issues. So the managers are not in a position to decide what to do now. And at one BHU the service level is something different, and at other level the service level is different, and whole of it depends on the in charge of the center. And so one person difference may make the change in whole of the difference, or the difference in whole of the system, or whole of the comparative study may be just inclined on one side because of one person. So sometimes to cover that gap, human beings, they temper or change the information. One thing. Second, sometimes we are not pushed for something, as we are a lethargic community people. So we are not pushed something. So the information may not be even provided to the required departments. So lack of information on the management issues, and management issues again require. Management also requires improvement. So at the information management level, maybe the information is not conveyed properly. Then is the poor quality of data. The data could not be collected properly. The sections left, the performance could not be filled. The age, the other financial status, the taboos, the social status, the cultural status, the religious status, the information could not be collected properly. As a result of that, there is poor quality of data, and data is no more helpful to the managers for the decision making. And then is the lack of timely reporting and feedback. Again, the same problem. Sometimes the demanding or the requiring authorities may be busy in some other problem, the pandemic, the other issues, the current issues, the polio programs, the other programs, they are busy. The DEO, the directors, they are busy. The statistical officers are busy in certain other collection of certain other information, and the HMIS data kept aside by the junior people or the healthcare facilities. So they are not providing in proper time, and the proper feedback could not be made. The time goes, the program goes to a failure and could not be improved. Then is the inadequate information usage. The information is there, but the people at the decision making level, or the people at the higher ups, or the people sitting in the planning commission could not make the best use of the information. First, because of the obviously the financial constraints. Secondly, because of the political issues. Thirdly, because of the technical issues. The technical people are not there much there. Fourthly, because sometimes I must say the regarding the information collecting people have not done that honestly. So they all that may not be helpful to the decision making bodies to go for the further improvement, or what I can say, the extension of the health systems. There is the lack of universal launch of the HMIS. Again, the same problem. In some countries, this program could not be implemented. In India, it's a little bit of the system is working, but in Iran, again, a little bit of the system is working. In Bhutan, in Nepal, in other neighboring countries, Sri Lanka, the program is not there at all. Again, the program is not there in Saudi Arabia. So if somebody comes from Iran to Pakistan, and from Pakistan and then goes from Pakistan to Saudi Arabia, so cannot be, the proper information cannot be passed on, and still the proper information data is not there. So how the health of those people can be improved, or health coverage can be provided to those people who are in the I can say in the transit for some time, or they remain moving from one country to another, or maybe sometimes some of the people, refugees coming to this region, or some of the people going there, or the transit of the people, or some other I can say the businessmen moving from one country to another, the traders moving from one country to another, the medicine firms, the equipment, the other things. So because the information system is not separate, information is not universal. So sometimes HMIS again has got a weakness in it. So lack of information system for hospitals, personnel and logistics. Again, the people working in the hospitals, they are not interested in personnel or logistics. The personnel, they are not interested in gathering information for the diseases, priority diseases, and they collect, they just sit in their drawing rooms and prepare the result reports in their offices and prepare the reports which is may not be true, or they reflect the reports from the other parallel centers, and that is just a failure of the system for nothing. Then the planning primary healthcare system. Obviously, the HMIS helps us to plan the primary healthcare system in the country or in the province, and obviously planning the system, the experts need, the technical experts need obviously the managers and the technical experts need the HMIS reports and other planning programs with them, and help of the other information system with them, and then they can obviously improve the healthcare system. The planning is not a one-time exercise, but it's a dynamic and goes on repeatedly through a cycle. Obviously, a cycle is there. The feedback should be must, and when feedback comes, they see that what improvements have been made in the healthcare system, or what flaws or gaps are there, which areas need improvement, and that obviously can be through HMIS system. While the planning cycle calls for progression through a sequence of steps, in actually many of the steps will be carried out simultaneously. Services considered simultaneously, the service level considered simultaneously. Obviously, the improvement in the care facilities can be there. The establishment of new center, obviously, for that the simultaneous programs should be there. So simultaneous services may commence while the data are being gathered. The first step in the planning is community assessment. If we have the assessment with us, then we are in a clear position. And the assessment obviously is the strength of the community, the population of the community social, cultural and political factors affecting the community, and obviously the financial constraints of the community. And when we have all those assessments, then we are very, very much clear to plan for primary healthcare in those regions. So obviously the health planning and primary healthcare planning can be through guidelines achieved from the knowledge of HMIS. Again, the guidelines in the primary healthcare health services assessment, demographic profile of the community. We know how many people living in those areas, how many people educated, how many people financially in the poor category, in the middle class, in the upper class, how many people with the cultural constraints, how many people with the religious problems, religious constraints. So all those identification of the felt needs, all those will indicate that identify the felt needs of the community. Those will tell us what we need to do and how we need to do. Then is the management of the health organizations. Obviously, the management of health organizations is again a broad subject, and the organizations, whether it's I can say just is the just government level organization, or it's a non-government organization, or it's just health related education, not in health itself. All those need the good management. So health management, health organizations, whether on the form of services like health education and immunization, or institutions like centers and hospitals and office-based administrative centers like local, regional or municipal headquarters share many of the following features. So many things are common in private hospitals, in government hospitals, in dispensaries, in basic health centers, and even in the not only the healthcare facilities, the preventive aspects, the treatment of the diseases, but the administrative level as well. The administration of the maybe of the district headquarter level may be matching with the administration of the basic health center. So the matching features are: first, complex by having many different departments and professions are being scattered over different and dissimilar locations. First of all, there was only one health department, then it was divided into primary healthcare and primary and secondary healthcare and tertiary healthcare, and health education. Then is obviously further the secretariat was kept out of the civil secretariat, and for the primary healthcare secretariat it's a different place, and for the secondary and for the tertiary and medical education it is a different place. So it's a complex. Sometimes for example, the Shehbaz Sharif Hospital being controlled by the MS of the civil hospital, and sometimes it's controlled by the director services, and nowadays it will be controlled by the Vice Chancellor Nishtar Medical University. Same is the case with the blood banks. The blood bank of Nishtar Medical University, Nishtar Hospital is being controlled by the Indus Hospital, and Indus Hospital enjoying the contract MOU with the regional blood center, and regional blood center controlling other centers as well. People sitting in the Shehbaz Sharif Hospital controlled by the people sitting in the Indus Hospital Karachi. So obviously it's a complex of having many different departments and questions, and sometimes even the things go out of the control. So management sometimes turns very, very difficult. Obviously this is for good, and different techniques being applied to improve the healthcare facilities to the level of the healthcare facilities to the community. The labor intensive, their work requires much manpower and various individual skills and forms of care. Now, by saying this, we mean, say for example, the X-ray machine can be operated by a simple labor person, or simple technician, or simple qualified person, but the report of the X-ray, or the report of the ultrasonography, or the report of some laboratory test is to be interpreted only and only by a qualified person. The laboratory test can be performed by any technician, but it cannot be interpreted by him, maybe by him. Then you need a technically qualified person, by a pathologist or by a physician, to interpret the report. Maybe he is performing the test, maybe he is operating the X-ray machine, but the report can only be available through a qualified person. Then is the dealing with the vital issues of life. Obviously, if somebody makes a mistake, that may cost the life to another person. So very, very much important aspect of the healthcare facilities. Relatively expensive. Sometimes the patient has to get the certain tests done, certain laboratory investigations done, and those are very much expensive, even out of the reach of the patient, and those are not available at the public level, only available at the private level. So that is again a sort of a bottleneck in the management of the health organizations. Relying on the community participation and intersectoral collaboration to achieve better results. Obviously, the main hospitals are say for example, the example of Nishtar Medical University or Nishtar Hospital has got a board of governing body, and the members from the of good repute from the society, or good repute from the traders association, from the cultural associations, from the community political sections. They are the members of the governing body, and they have to see certain aspects of the organization to run it. So it's sometimes for the good, and sometimes it may not be for the good. So the implementation of the programs may be affected, or implementation may go in a better direction. So both things are there, but obviously the participation is there. The frequently change in response to new patterns of illness, modified equipments and techniques. Obviously, even frequently change, maybe the change at the difference of the illness at the same time. For a best example is the COVID-19, because two people suffering from the same disease of COVID-19, positive patients, behave different. The results are different. Their outcome of the disease is different. The sequel is different. Sometimes the life and death matters. So even for the same disease. So that is again the complication of the health organizations. Sometimes they cannot design a program for a single disease. So at one level, in one person, the disease behave different, and in another person behave different. So how a program can be launched for the prevention or management of some disease like COVID-19? Consequently, especially a high quality of management is needed to achieve efficient and effective healthcare facilities. The management may be maintenance management for continuity and integrative management for coordination, evaluative management for correction, and adaptive management for change. So those are the things which concern with management of health organizations, and will continue. Maybe next will be my last for the management and HMIS will be delivered next week. Now I am very much tired, having a high blood pressure. I've been offered gold coffee along with curly potato chips. I will say goodbye now. Stay blessed. Goodbye.